most crucial parts of any current affairs report is blaming someone for an outrage. For instance, Chaz, you remember that race riot at the Australian Open?
Yeah.
Right. Who do you think was to blame for that?
The race rioters?
No, you've got to blame more people than that. In fact, you should take a lesson from the master of blame, columnist Andrew Bolt.
Who's to blame?
Anyone who threw a punch is to blame. Anyone who yelled a racist insult is to blame. Primarily, they themselves are to blame, their parents are to blame, their community leaders are to blame, and Australian society is to some extent also to blame.
Well, damn you, everyone. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
Now, what we saw there, Andrew, was a great list of menaces to society. And a current affair needs all the menaces it can get, because if we look at the current affairs tally board for 2007, they're trailing tonight 34 menace to society stories of 24.
But never fear, a current affair are more than holding their own in the crucial mindless celebrity fluff category. 69 stories of 34. It's an average of one a day. Very impressive.
But where the tension really builds is in the old people screwed over category. It's neck and neck, annoying stories all there. So if you're an old person who's been banned from knitting, Tonight wants you now.
On to today's lesson now. The one thing everyone involved with the current affairs show has in common, from the targets to the reporters to the viewers, is humiliation.
Take, for instance, this man on a current affair. Now, his name's Harley. He's a bit overweight, and ACA wanted to find out how many kilos he was, for his own good, of course, naturally. So what's the most dignified way to do that on national television?
With no scales big enough to check Harley's weight, we've brought him here to a horse stable for a weigh-in.
It was probably the most humiliating time of my life so far.
What, being weighed on horse scales or appearing on a current affair?
Still, why go to the trouble of humiliating someone when you can make them humiliate themselves? Take this guy, right? He went through this terrible ordeal. He had to wait hours in an emergency room in his underwear. Now, here's a current affair helping him get over his shame.
I was dressed in a pair of boxer pants and a singlet.
That must have felt great.
It was very embarrassing. It felt so demoralising that, people come through and they're looking at you.
And now 1.4 million ACA viewers are also looking at you. And what better way, Andrew, to help a girl crippled by body image issues than to showcase her oversized breasts from as many camera angles as possible?
Elise Flanagan would normally be too shy to show her 14G chest.
More than anything, I hate the attention.
Yes, well, here's some of that attention she hates. All the dignity of a camera hovering inches away from her breasts at every conceivable angle. And she'd especially enjoy this 180-degree tracking shot, reminiscent of The Matrix.
And you're never too young to be humiliated, Andrew.
Oh, no.
Just look at the tactful way this little boy finds out for the first time that his father has rejected him.
Jessica, have you thought about how hard it's going to be to tell Chad that his daddy doesn't love him and doesn't want him?
Well, how do you tell any child that their father doesn't want anything to do with them?
How do you tell him? You simply asked reporter Rowan Wen to do it for you.
And if you'd like Rowan Wen to tell someone near and dear to you that their entire self-worth is based upon a lie, give him a call today.
All those poor people, and I can't think of anything more humiliating than what they went through.
Really? I can.
I vote for the Democrats! I'm the treasurer of the Pussycat Dolls fan club! I enjoyed watching Norbert.
I want to have sex with my own parents!
What has you become? I don't have a son anymore.
Oh no! You see?
Yeah, that is more humiliating. So obviously, with current affairs reporters so good at spreading this misery, you have to avoid them at all costs. And we've got some helpful hints from the professionals themselves, dodgy guys.
First up, this man. Now, he works on the logic that if he can't see the reporter can't see him. And isn't that tactic working a treat? See, now, this guy really has the upper hand now. He has that reporter exactly where he wants him. He comes out of this whole encounter looking squeaky clean and with his dignity fully intact.
Well, blue shirts, they're the perfect form of camouflage, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, in the jungle. Chameleons use them all the time.
I want to take my hat off to this next guy. This is the first time in 2 years of watching current affairs that we've witnessed a man fight back. Reporter Chris Allen thinks he's got this sad old man trapped in a room. Oh, but Allen doesn't know what's about to hit him.
What gives you the right to be rude about people in the window, Mr. Fraser? So, can you tell us why you think it's funny to put these signs in the window, Mr. Priest?
Whoa! Take that, Chris Allen. Let's look at that again on the Channel 9 hotspot. Now you can see where Chris Allen's forehead hits a sweet spot in the door, right there.
Well done, you feisty old bugger. In fact, you deserve a prize.
Excuse me, old man, we've brought you a precariously balanced cream cake.
Now whatever you do, don't make any sudden moves.
I wasn't expecting that to happen at all.
I thought that would have happened.